Welcome back. ZeNEX is on the ropes. They're hanging by a thread, and it is this man. It is ZeNEX Stream, the last player standing.
He indeed is. He has to play in a PvP first, and it's going to take place on Whirlwind.
That's the worst matchup to play first, man. It's such a matchup that can be decided by build orders that you can just get unlucky and lose there. And knowing that not only do you have to win that one, but you have to win against 3 other players with so many stars on the bench, ZeNEX Stream has got to be so stressed right now. He's the last hope. If he loses here, not only do they lose this match, but they are completely out for this season.
If he's going to pull this off, though, he will be the star.
Absolutely, and that is in itself something that may happen. I don't expect it to happen. I don't think anyone expects it to happen. Not even ZeNEX Stream, but he is going to try. He is going to put his heart into this. The countdown has started. The first map is Whirlwind, a huge map. Anything could happen here. This is the GSTL. I am Wolf. With me is Kaldor. Let's find out if ZeNEX Stream can pull it off.
It might be the last game of the team match between ZeNEX and NSHosa. We have a Protoss versus Protoss on Whirlwind. To the top right in the yellow starts our ZeNEX player. He is none other than
ZeNEX Stream!
The last man standing. Will he be able to bring his team back into the team match? Or will he lose as well? Will he lose to the Protoss who already took out 2 Zerg players? To the top left we have for the NSHosa team
NSHosa Sun!
Huge map for PvP.
Oh man, this is so tense right now for ZeNEX. They have to pull off a win here. San has shown good PvP in the past. We do see actually a wall-off coming down for Extreme. Very rare to see in this matchup because we see so many Blinkstalker pressure builds. We see Blinkstalker Observer. You can lose that gateway if it's part of your wall, and your core potentially as well if you make that there. So those are some things to consider. And this is a huge map, Kaldor. So even though Warp Gate research is in play, it's going to make it a little bit harder to do early attacks, especially if any sort of walking across the map occurs. For example, if you get ahead and you want to punish your opponent, you have a lot of Immortals out, it's going to be harder to attack that expansion by ground.
The last PvP that we've seen was, if I'm not mistaken, the one where Hero was able to take out Tacita, which was decided because Hero took a huge risk here and tried to hide a few buildings, hide his tech. On a map as big as this one, we might see something similar. The game with Joya on Calm Before the Storm. This is one where we've seen also a tech. Oh, one player hiding a tech with a double Stargate.
Yeah, that's something that can really catch a player off guard. That double Stargate hidden tech switch is so scary to deal with, especially if you're going Colossi, which is what we happened to see that yesterday. He went Colossi, and against the double Phoenix Stargate switch, you have no Stalkers, you just lose the game. He's just going to lift everything. Your Colossi are going to die as well. This scout is very fortunate. In fact, he will be able to get in here and see the double gas timing. He's going to know, oh, okay, it's not a 4-gate or anything I have to worry about, so this is pretty good for San. Meanwhile, the probe for ZeNEX Stream has actually not scouted his opponent correctly, and he may even be denied.
This is the first PvP that we've seen on Whirlwind.
Yeah.
How do you like this map for PvP, for Protoss versus Protoss?
Well, I think that on this map there's a secondary ramp. It's a very wide open ramp.
Huge.
But it's so far away to attack into, it's not going to be something that's really a big problem. I mean, like, the ramp is not going to be like, oh, well, I don't know if I can expand here, the ramp's wide, he might be able to come up, I'm going to need more force fields. By the way, we see a Stargate coming down for our ZeNEX player. That's kind of a risky build to go with when you are down, but so far, I've seen, usually when I see a Stargate play, yeah, it looks like it's really tough to execute, it looks hard, but it almost always wins, and every broadcasted match I've commentated of it. It's a strong build. It's tough to deal with. It's not going to be necessarily what San expects.
And you kind of have to take a few risks if you really want to win against 4 players of your opponent's team. You have to be, you have to gamble a little bit. Being just really safe and play every game straight up is, in my opinion, just way too hard. And currently, we have Sun moving out here. He has already a few of his Stalkers posturing around the map, warping in the second round.
Yep, he's just going to do a 2 gateway pressure into expand.
There are no sentries.
Oh, he's not targeting it correctly. Okay, now he is. If he gets this sentry, he will be able to get up the ramp. And the sentry needs the force field. He will, but he will kill the Zealot on the outside. Nice micro there. And he only has 1 sentry warp. Get research is done. He needs to warp in 1 more.
Yeah, there was 1 sentry already, kind of missed this one. The Phoenix shows it himself, and there's only 1 Phoenix so far. And you said he needs to just make sure that he has more sentries on the high ground. He needs to commit more gas to this.
This is actually such a great position for San because he's forced an extra sentry. He now has the expansion up. This is a huge map. It's going to be really hard for him to hit a timing, especially since he's already done this Phoenix opening. And notice, Cowler, he made 1 Phoenix and he hasn't made any more because he knows, oh, you have a fast expand. You've already started to go down the path of countering what I am doing. This is really bad for me, and the ZeNEX team has got to be feeling really stressed out knowing this. The transition here, he's going for another gateway.
And he has more sentries. He warped in 2 additional sentries. Now his sentry count is up to 4, so that he can start to defend against aggressive gateway play. But as you mentioned, we have San with a base, and he is about to finish his Nexus, transitioning into a Robo. That's our ZeNEX player here.
And, you know, he's already got the first Immortal out on the way. The Phoenix takes some damage, but will not be killed.
We have the robotics ready for San. He is producing his first Immortal, and Extreme is trying to... Oh, he's trying to keep up here.
Yeah, I mean, right now, to be honest... Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what I was going to say, man. Like, right now, San is ahead in every way possible in this matchup. What can ZeNEX Extreme do to catch up? He is going to have to figure something out here. He's going to have to win a choice engagement. And with this push coming out, if he defends this well, he may actually be able to get ahead as a result. This is perhaps even the best he could hope for. He has a decent amount of sentries that he built.
But you said it best when you mentioned the problem with a huge ramp that we have. If you want a force field here, you have to commit so much energy from your sentries, and a second push will probably not be able to... You will not be able to hold it. He doesn't have the sentry count, and now he moves in. He has also Immortal on his way. Here comes the first round of... Now force fields, the Immortal joins the party. The Zealots are on the high ground though, trying to bait his opponent's Zealots into the range of the Stalkers and the Immortals.
Some and aggressive offensive force fields there.
Now he's running out of energy, slowly but steadily.
He's warping in more sentries. He can delay this 1 more time. But to do this attack, San doesn't lose a whole lot. He is running in with the Zealots again, starting to do some damage to these Stalkers. And these are basically the last force fields. He does not have enough to do it again. But he's holding so far, and like I said, this is the best he could really hope for. Now he's got enough to hold this back, and this is the way that he has evened things up. San has overcommitted just a little bit, picks up the Immortal, and ZeNEX Extreme may be able to hold here.
But he loses a ton of units, and the Phoenix was targeted immediately by all these Stalkers. The Stalker count is now in 5 to 5, 6 sentries to 2, and the Immortal count is dead even as San transitions into a potential Colossus play. Loses a sentry though.
Yep, loses a sentry, almost lost that Immortal. That was so stressful there.
And San had, in the end, enough force fields and sentries to hold this push up over and over again. And as Hosa, San, he lost too many units.
I'm so shocked he committed to that attack. He knew he was ahead with his Nexus. He had the Nexus going up before he even left the ramp when he was doing his pressure early on. He saw his opponent with Phoenix, so he's like, oh, awesome, I'm already ahead in robotics tech, so I'm just going to make Immortals here. And as for this reason, I'm really surprised he committed. But again, even though that was the best thing that ZeNEX Extreme could have hoped for and he got a lot out of that, his opponent is still ahead in tech. He's already starting the first Colossus.
What Extreme is trying to do in order to even things out is a second robotics. He's going not only for the Bay, but also a second robotics facility. And with this, he will be able to get the Immortals out. Sorry, not the Immortals, but the
Colossi, yeah.
A lot faster. This might help him. The question is, when is San going to attack with his Colossi?
And will San discover this? He has sent his probe in. He does see, in fact, the second robotics facility going up. And ZeNEX Extreme has seen that his opponent does not have a second robotics just yet, so he's going to be very well aware of this. He's seeing additional gateways going down. From here, this is going to make him feel comfortable defensively with his Colossi. Now the second Robo goes down for San, but it's way behind, so he's going to feel great with his Colossus count. He may even decide to take a third as a result.
The Harvester count is in favor of ZeNEX Stream at this point. He is not as fast with his tech, but the double Colossus helps him a lot. So San is not trying to attack with the first Colossus. That would have actually been the timing that I would have expected out of him earlier, because then the force fields don't play a role. He was ahead in tech already. So why not just wait for the first Colossus so that he can target, well, kill the force fields and walk up this ramp, use his economy and his tech advantage. Now his opponent is actually ahead in economy, just a tiny little bit, but it adds up over time. And, well, Extreme, already with a double Colossus production, will be ahead in the Colossus count.
He's getting a faster Forge here as well, and he still has that Stargate. He can continue to scout his opponent's composition with his Phoenix, which is much faster than an Observer. He knows his opponent's Forge is later, and he, with that Stargate, can actually start to produce Void Rays if he wants to, too. I mean, that's something that he has up his sleeve. He can do that, and in this matchup, when someone switches to Void Rays suddenly, that can be a game changer. Also, for the late game, he's already one step closer to Mothership. If that does occur, this is a huge map for PvP, and right now we're going towards that Colossus phase. We may see a Mothership.
The Colossus count is a dead even 3-2-3. And we are about to see the extended thermal lance complete for Extreme as well. San already has the upgrade, +1 for both of them. It's transitioning into a really, really close mirror match.
Yeah, well, look at that units lost tab. You can see a lot more units lost for San. He attacked into that defensive choke point. I mean,
That's how he lost his advantage.
Absolutely. That was the best thing that ZeNEX Stream could have hoped for, man.
Yeah.
He is so ahead now in Colossus production. The Twilight Council is going down for San as he knows this, and he's thinking to himself, I've got to start switching tech up here a little bit. See if ZeNEX Stream gives him time to do that, though, because he is posturing around the map. He may actually move out with his double advantage here. Okay, he's going to take a third. This is so smart because he knows he's got the better Colossus advantage. Not only from an attacking standpoint, he'll have it slightly, but as a defender, he will absolutely have the better Colossus count and the better defensive position no matter what. We're going to see a Templar Archives go down here for San very soon as his Twilight Council's finished. There's Charge. He needs to get those Archons out as well, though, to complement his army.
Yeah, indeed he does. The Sentry count already still higher for Extreme, by the way. Obviously, at this point, you don't warp in additional ones as the force fields are kind of useless, but you still have to use the Guardian Shield in the fight. He still has the 6 that he used earlier to block this ramp, while San has now 3 kills, 1 additional Phoenix that tries to scout the main base.
We did see the Twilight Council being chrono boosted, so it's going to let him know, alright, you are starting to make that switch.
And we have the Twilight Council for Extreme as well. Both of them just trying to max out their army. But the third base is something that we only see out of Extreme so far. There's the Templar Archive.
Yeah, he's getting that Templar Archive. It's starting to look like San is just not going to take a third base. And yeah, he's actually going to move across the map and do a big push. He's going to probably attack at the third base location where he may be able to catch his opponent's units awkwardly out of position. But position-wise, for third bases, the third base of San, when he makes it, is going to be more exposed than the third base here for Extreme. And so if he tries to attack the third base, he may find himself getting caught. He's going to get a few Zealots for free here, and he does have the better army supply right now at 133 to 113.
A War Prism is also being built for Extreme. Here he might use it just to put pressure onto the main base of his opponent. And with San moving out now, this could be this could do a lot of damage if he warps in a few Zealots.
The Colossus count is not really as much so in favor of ZeNEX Stream anymore. It's just 9 to 8. He has so many Zealots, 28 in fact, and if he catches these 2 units over there that we just got a shot of out of position, he'll get them for free. And it looks like, oh man, this is so tense. Extreme is trying to position himself defensively here. Will he be able to hold? This may be the game-deciding push. The Colossi are well split. The Zealots, some of them in the back.
The position for Extreme is really great. He attacks from different angles, but he is not able to save his Colossi. Most of them are dying as San suddenly starts to split his Colossi so much better. Targets down his opponent's ranked units, and this is a great unit control by San, who takes a huge lead in supply.
Yeah, he has done it. He will win this game, and ZeNEX is going to be out because there are too many Colossi, now doubling the supply of ZeNEX Stream. He had his Colossi well split, but I have to say they were too split. They were not able to do the damage they needed to. His opponent just tore them apart kind of in smaller groups.
He had a nice concave at the start of the battle, but the unit control in general was just better for San. He targeted down 2 Colossi at a time, and he just did so much damage, and just look at it, San He crushes Extreme here in this battle.
Yep.
When they entered the fight, Extreme was a tiny bit ahead, but it didn't make a difference because San's unit control on his micro here, just exceptional.
You're so right, and look at this. He's not going to kill this Forge, which almost got him an upgrade advantage, but it will not.
Can you dance Colossi?
Well, you can do it using the move command, but that's about all you can do. There's no slash dance command to answer your question.
No moonwalking Colossi?
No.
That is actually sad.
I wish the Colossi could actually take their legs up and do them like disco hands or something. But this
Blizzard, there's an idea for you.
There you go, Blizzard. GG, ZeNEX loses 5-1 to NS Hosa, looking very strong. San taking the last victories there.
San does it, Extreme is out, and therefore we have San with 3 kills, and they advance. NS Hosa, they advance to the next round together with Slayers. Slayers took the group and the runner-up. It is NS Hosa, while then ZeNEX is out of the GSTL as is Team Liquid.
Yep. And that is going to be it for our first group. It's all been closed out now. It's been a good first week. We saw a lot of, we saw a lot of cool strategies from both teams here, and of course we saw them from Slayers as well as Team Liquid. I feel like we've learned a lot about where some of these players like San have been. We've learned a lot about some new faces like ZeNEX Life. I mean, he's been around for a while, but he kind of showed some new and exciting, unique play. We saw Freaky show his Infestor play. Like, we have learned a lot this week.
We've seen Life before. Life was always a player that was playing a solid Zerg, but he really made it happen this time. I mean, he might have been known in the scene before he played in the GSTL here, but what he has shown in the last few days was really exceptional.
It was something special, for sure.
Yeah, it was definitely something else.
And that's the thing about Team League.
He took 10 wins.
Yeah. The thing about Team League is there's always something special to see. What you know about these players from the individual league, you have to put aside. You have to kind of push it aside because you never know what's going to happen in this team scenario. Someone can lose all confidence, completely botch a game. Someone can actually have a breakout performance. You can see a B-teamer come in and change the entire sphere of the GSTL, and that's what I love to see.
And most of these players that have really performed well in the GSTL, we'll see them in Code A. Freaky, Live, 2 players that we will see in Code A as well. So, yeah, that's it basically for the day. We are obviously having a quick look at the results as soon as they are done, and we will once again have an interview with the manager and the MVP of the winning team. And the MVP today definitely going to be San.
Yeah.
He did not only win the last game, but he was able to win 3 games for his team.
Yeah, if they try to interview Freaky, I think he might throw some infested Terrans at them, and they'd have to run away. I thought that the play that we saw from ZeNEX, though, this season was better than we've ever seen from them before, and I'm really looking forward to seeing what they're going to do in the individual league. Obviously, they're out this season. They'll be back next season. They're one of the oldest StarCraft 2 teams. They even outlasted OGS, despite the fact that their performances have not been the best in the past. I mean, they're still here. They're around. They got their new uniforms. They were ready to go this season. They almost made it. There is ZeNEX Stream and some of his teammates looking over that replay, but I really feel in that last engagement, his units were really well split, but they were not as well controlled as San. Here are our results for today.
Here they are indeed. 5-1, that's the final score of this team match. Freaky with 2 wins and San with 3, closing the series.
And Life, the only player able to take a win. Freaky almost taking him out in that game, too. It was such a close one.
Yeah, it indeed was. That was a really nice CVZ, really exciting. And then Life was not able to take, another win for his team. This time it was only 1.
Very true. And, that is the way that our group finishes up. So we will have Slayers and NS Hosa advancing to the next round. Team Liquid and ZeNEX, see you next season because you weren't quite able. Don't forget, we have a lot of teams in the team league. This is just one part of the bracket. Obviously, we have some seeded teams like, for example, MVP, Prime, StarTale, the teams that did really well last season. And then we still have other teams on the other side of the bracket like TSL. We have, of course, Fnatic.
One of the things that I want to mention still, while you just mentioned Team Liquid, is that I actually expect Team Liquid to do a lot better next season than this season. They just set up the apartment here in Korea. Jinro was not able to practice because he was basically scouting apartments the entire time. And these are just a few things that I wanted to mention, especially with Dario and TLO just coming over to Korea. Next time they will have a lot more time to prepare and to be in better shape.
Yeah, absolutely.
Here's the interview with our MVP.
네, NS호서의
Son.
잘한 선수도 굉장히 많고
And he says it's been a long time since he won in the GSTL. He's really happy that he contributed to his team
올키도
today.
하고 막 4키도 하고 그런 선수들 보면서 솔직히 많이 부러웠는데 저는 좀 오늘 부족했는데 그래도 3킬 해서 만족해요.
네, 3킬도 대단하죠.
He was very jealous of his teammates that all kills or at least got 3 or 4 victories, and today he's really happy that he was able to perform as well.
다리가 굉장히 긴데요.
네.
별명이 마음에 드시나요?
네, 별명 잘 지으신 것 같아요.
오, 진짜요?
네.
네, 알겠습니다. 100만 불짜리 부럽네요.
네.
자, 2라운드에 가서는 지난 시즌 준우승 팀이죠. 스타테일 콘티카도 만나게 되는데 그 경기에서 꼭 한번 만나서 이겨보고 싶다는 선수가 있다면 또 누군가요?
스타테일 선수들이 다들 잘하셔가지고 꼭 이겨보고 싶은 선수는 없고 그냥 저희 팀이 이겼으면 좋겠어요.
They're playing StarTech Quantic in the next round, in the second round of the GSTL, and he thinks
자, 그리고
that they have a lot of strong
감독님과도
players.
이야기 나눠봐야겠죠.
It's going to be a very, very hard
감독님
challenge for his team.
축하드립니다.
네, 감사합니다.
어떠신가요, 기분이?
And here we have the
기분
coach.
좋고요.
네.
네. 아, 다행인 것 같아요. 올라가게 돼서.
그러게요. 어제 말씀하시길 선수들이 잠도 줄여가면서 연습했다고 그랬었는데 스케줄 컨디션 관리하기가 굉장히
He was really nervous before the match, and he's obviously very relieved now
연습량보다는 좀
since his
컨디션을
team will
조절하기
advance
위해서
to the second
좀
round.
잠을 좀 푹 잔 상태고요. 네, 그렇게 했습니다.
네, 이제 2라운드입니다. 지난 시즌 스타테일 콘티 기다리고 있는데 악연인가요? 좀 갚아줄 게 있긴 있죠. 이 경기를 보고 있을 김광복 감독님께 한마디 한다면?
네, 감독님 저희가 복수를 하는 건 없고요.
네.
워낙에 친한 팀 중에 한 팀이기 때문에
네.
네, 좋은 경기로 해서 스타테일과 저희
We
팀이
lost to StarTale last season, but I'm really close with the StarTale coach, so
마지막으로 한마디 하고
we don't
싶은데
really
선수들한테
getting revenge here isn't really what he's looking for. But
김태형 선수가
I definitely want to do my best to
코드에
win.
이제 올라가서 첫 그 무대를 서게 됐어요. 그래서 긴장이 많이 될 것 같아서 이번 팀 리그 때 경험치 이제 많이 내보낸 거거든요.
네.
그래서
All the coaches are pretty much
3연속 경기에
good
모두
friends for the
내보냈는데
most part in StarCraft 2
선봉의
scene in Korea.
부담감 그런 걸 다 떨쳐내고 좋은 성적
Freaky was very nervous because he didn't have a lot of nervous on the GSTL, and that's why we tried to use him a lot so he could gain experience. And he already has gained the experience to perform better in the second round. So he's happy with Freaky's performance and how much he's learned.
그리고 마지막으로 제 여자친구가 이제 매번 경기마다
And his last words basically are thank you to Son for preparing so well to beat
많이
ZeNEX.
신경을 못 써줬는데도 불구하고
Yeah, so he's specifically practicing against life.
신경 많이 써서 고맙다고 전하고 있습니다.
Oh.
부럽네요.
She recording this.
말씀 감사합니다.
네, 고맙습니다.
네.
Oh, that's the coach's
자, 여기까지
girlfriend.
NS 호서 팀을 만나봤습니다. 저는 다음 주 월요일에 다시 찾아오도록 할게요. 서경환 캐스터 나와주시죠.
Well, that is it. That kind of concludes our first week of GSTL, and what a week it has been.
Yeah, definitely. I'm kind of sad that I will miss a few of the days next week. I'm actually going on a vacation now.
Yeah, you were gonna have a lot of fun.
Yeah, definitely.
While you're on vacation, you'll have time to watch those games. You know,
I will.
You might not watch them live. You might watch the VODs.
No. I will watch them live. Believe me.
You guys should get the premium service, by the way, though,
Yeah.
so you can be like Caldor and watch high quality live.
I will so enjoy this. My dad's internet really sucks, but doesn't matter. I will watch all the matches live and watch you cast, probably with Atosis, I think.
Yeah, I think so.
And well, I will be here for TSL Millennium against Fnatic. I will be here for LGIM against the match winner. And on Wednesday, I'll be able to watch the cast of this as well. I'm really looking forward to it, but I won't see the conclusion of the group.
That's fine. I'll miss you a lot, but I know you'll be with me in spirit. You'll be watching it at your home.
I will.
So here are basically how our groups are going to be finishing up. It's going to be from June 15th to July 14th. That is a long season of matches we have coming up here. Here's basically the other edges. We have Prime, Slayers, EG going up against MVP. These are the seeded teams from last season. StarTale versus NS Hosa, and then FX Open was also seeded because of their round of 4 performance. And it's going to be awesome.
It's going to be sick.
It's
going to be
so
great.
sick.
I love Team League. I just love Team League. And that's gonna be it for today, guys. It was a short one.
It was a bit of a shorter one for sure.
Yep. And well, we are back on Monday with the next stream, with the next GSTL match. We just saw it. TSL against Fnatic, another foreign team. We might see Naiden, we might see Todd.
Yeah. Might just see some great play all around from that team, picking up players like Oz recently.
Yep.
And I think that'll do it for today.
Exactly.
It's been a good week, and we will see you guys next time.
Bye-bye. See you soon.